welcome to the Spotlight Show. I'm your host. My name is Bali, and thank you once again for another episode of the Spotlight Show. Where you and I discuss topics of interest that affect, people of color, people of African descent all across the globe. So right now we are live on the GBKM network in the city of Toronto in Canada. So depending on where you might be, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and depending on your time zone, because we have viewers from across the globe watching us. If you are live with us right now, please remember, tell your friends and family. We have the GBKM app. Go to Play Store or App Store, download it, so that way you can always follow us and follow all our live programs and past events. Remember, we're live on YouTube and Facebook as well, GBKM TV, GBKM FM, and our website for the network is www.gbk.fm. Go there, you'll see more programs that streams throughout the week. So thank you once again. And of course, like I always say, Sunday is always my highlight because we are here on the Spotlight Show where we discuss. Today's topic is very, very interesting. Today's show is not interactive, but I'll call it semi-interactive because, I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to give some response, etc. We don't have a live guest in the show today, but we have a wonderful topic. And before we go there, of course, we will do a special shout out to viewers like you who made this show possible every week, and of course our corporate partners. First of all, to the African Young Entrepreneur, they are doing amazing things. Check them out, www.ayeorganization.com. And remember, they have a trust fund. If you're looking for an instant loan, why not go to the platform www.etrustfund.org. You can get an instant loan there. And remember, they are always on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is the social media app where you can hear people discuss about entrepreneurship, loans, etc. Check them out on Clubhouse. It's called the Africa's Young Entrepreneurs. Thank you to Emmanuel's Place, wonderful organization. It's a shelter, black-led, black-owned, catering to women who are victims of, sex trafficking, domestic violence, hopelessness, etc. And of course, we must say thank you to Pakati, Pan-African Arts, Culture and Trade Institute, www.pakati.org, Daniela Corporation, a wonderful startup, disrupting the mining sector. Please check them out, www.daniela.org, DanielaCorp.com, please, DanielaCorp.com. So if you know anyone who has a mine, any company, institute, why not, reach out to them, and they have various services to meet your need. Top Run Consulting makes this show possible every week. So special thanks to Top Run, www.toprun.ca. You're looking for a career change, looking for opportunity to network with people in the IT field like myself, why not go to toprun.ca, register for any of their classes or mentorship programs, and of course they will connect you to like minds, so that way you can be able to join like minds in the technology space. Are you looking for opportunity to change your career or even get more certification? They have a class close to you, whether in person or virtual, www.toprun.ca. Remember that. And of course, special thanks to My Dunamis Food. How do you get your grocery? Do you still schedule time or take transit or go into your car and go get your groceries from different neighborhoods? You don't really have to do that anymore. Thanks to COVID, now we know that, there are certain businesses that can go online, like mydunamisfood.com. Remember, www.mydunamisfood.com is one-stop shop for everything African grocery. They get it delivered to your doorsteps. So guys, come on, give them a try. Patronize another African-owned business, another black-led organization. Let's grow together, okay, guys? So I'll do a special thanks to everyone who has always been in support of this show. Thank you so much. Today's topic is quite wonderful. What makes a content go viral? Everybody today are so interested because we all live on our smartphone now, whether you like it or not. I know there are some people that don't have a smartphone, so you can be excused. For majority of people that have a smartphone, there's no how in a day you do not use or interact with your smartphone at least 30 minutes to 1 hour. At minimum, okay? People spend more than that, 10 hours on their smartphone. I don't know how they do it. Maybe that's their own source of income. But now there's so many content. How do you make those content go viral? If I want to create a content, a video or images, what are some of the things I should consider to make it go viral? It's not everybody that can, big companies like Coca-Cola, major brands have, psychologists, they have behavioral scientists, they have gurus that know what to do. What is that topic? What is that word? What is that, information to pass out to make it go viral? And they can push, and sponsor, and it's always in your face. But for most people, like I said, this shows for you and I, people who have startups, people that have enough funds to do massive campaign. What are those things you need to consider to make your content go viral, to make an information go viral? And that is what we're going to talk about today. Why? Because I always encourage entrepreneurship, multiple streams of income. I always tell you, monetize that service, monetize that idea and that product. Now it's time for marketing. How do we make sure people are aware of what we want them to be aware of. That is why we are here today. Okay, and you're right. When we talk about things going viral nowadays, when you talk about things going viral, is that it's viral on social media or viral on mainstream news or wherever. Are there reasons why a content or an image go viral? I personally believe there are reasons. It's not because, trust me, there are some very good content that don't even make it anywhere. People, 30 views, 40 views, and it's all gone, The only friends and family get to know about it. But how come there are certain content you see people, be it on WhatsApp, on TikTok, on Facebook, anywhere, people keep forwarding it. I see some image on my WhatsApp chat, and it said forwarded many, many times, So it must be interesting and engaging, because in today's market, in today's, marketing landscape, the barrier to entry for creating and publishing new content is at an all-time low. Yeah, new content is an all-time low. Why? Because that means that in social networks and other distribution channels are flooded with content. Trust me, sometimes I open my smartphone, there's so much content that my brain just sometimes freeze. It's called content overload. My eyes and my brain cannot even be able to comprehend a whole lot of the information that is pushed on my phone on the daily basis. Okay, and that's the whole purpose, because we have publishing new content an all-time low, because we have flooded so many with content. So people just reuse, people reshare. So naturally, as a way of filtering and screening our feed, we are always gravitated to the content that everyone is sharing. You are a victim as well. Have you seen some content that people share? You understand? And you can relate to it, and what you do, you push the share button as well, because you want your network to be aware of such information, or such joke or such image or video or whatever it is. So one thing you have to understand is that for most content creators and marketers, going viral is the aim. You don't create content for the sake of creating content. Trust me. Some of the content I create, because I wear multiple hats. Even for my show, sometimes I want some of my topic to go viral. I want some of my videos to go viral. Even in the community association that we belong to, we want some of our programs and some of the information we share to go viral. But is it always the case? No. And why is that? That's what we're here today to discuss about. So sit back, relax. It's going to be a wonderful discussion and topic, and let's encourage ourselves. So why do some people get content to go viral and others cannot? Okay. And in today's episode, we're going to take a look at why and how some of those campaign contents are able to go viral. We're going to go on a journey. So what is the science behind making things go viral? What are the science behind making things go viral? So today, one thing I must tell you, there's a psychology to it. You see, my first degree is mathematics, so I love logic very, very much, and I love psychology and behavioral science. I like to observe and understand why people make certain choices, and that is why we're here today, because together we're going to review some psychological theory. I'm telling you, on what leads to viral content. There is, you may not behave it, but human behavior is all psychology anyhow. So why we share certain things and some examples of winning viral campaigns that took advantage of triggering people's emotion. Sure, to take advantage of people's emotions. You see, that's why they always tell people, be very cautious of what you allow into your mind in social media, because it's there to arrest your emotion. It's there to capture your emotion. And once it captures your emotion, it's there to get your attention. And once it gets your attention, then you're hooked. Okay, guys? So we're going to do that. And I'm going to share an image with you. And let's take a look at some of this content that is out there. Exactly. So individuals on social media are more likely to share what? Certain types of content, including you and I. You can't tell me you've never shared anything before on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram. There's so many avenues now of sharing content. And today we're going to look at certain types of content, and do you know what those contents are and why people share them? The most popular one, because it was a recent survey, that was done, 72% people are more likely, there's a 72% chance of people more likely to share news information. You remember the era of Trump? My WhatsApp was flooded. Yeah, my producer in the studio is shaking his head because my WhatsApp platform was flooded. Trump was news. Anything that Trump tweets, oh my God, people are going to retweet it. Is that the information is misleading? Is that there's some commenting in it, or is that there's just some inconsistency? So that is it. People love to share news. And recently, with what happened in Afghanistan, people were quick to share anything related to Afghanistan. And that is it. It's that kind of content. So the first one is news. People are more likely to share news 72% of the time. The next one is humor, jokes, comedy. We especially Nigerians, we love comedy. And Nigeria is known as the home of comedy. Just like in America, how our black brothers there, are into comedy, and we have a lot of big names, comedians. Same thing in our community. People love to share jokes. You know why? Because it relieves stress. Some people are going through a terrible day, and you see this wonderful video that is so humorous, and you can't help it but to share, even to your friend or a family member. I mean, some of us do that. I know I do that. When I come across some very wonderful joke, I like to share it so that the next person can laugh with me as well. And the next one is opinion. People have a very strong opinion. The pro-vaccine, the anti-vaccines, the pro-government, and different things. So some people like to push their opinion. They don't like to respect other people's opinion. I don't know why. Trust me, I'm trying to take a middle ground, and I respect people's views and opinion. Do I mean I need to accept it? No. So that's another thing people like to share a lot. People like to share me. It's quite interesting. If you look at this study, why do people share news the most? And people are not really much interested in sharing fiction or warning alert. One would think that warnings and alert will be number one content that people share. But it seems nowadays people are so preoccupied with what is going on in the mainstream news and what is going on in their own individual lives that they're only interested in news and comedy. So one would think that this is prevalent in certain kind of community, maybe the black community, the Asian community, Europeans, but no, these are cut across age and race. Okay, so we see households there, and we see it's just 34% of people are willing to share that. We have 17% for warning signs, and of course 9% for fiction. So this gives us a whole lot of data behind the types of content on social media that people are more likely to share. So when you are doing your campaign, these are some of the things you have to take, you have to recognize and take advantage of and say, okay, if I want this thing to go viral, you understand, how should I portion it? Should it be in form of a news content, or in form of a humor, or in form of an opinion? Okay, because these are the three major categories of content that people are more likely to share. If you didn't know before, now you know. So, like I said, we're still talking about what is the science behind making things go viral, be it videos or content or images. And we just shared with you some of the major content types on social media that people will share on social media. Okay, guys. So, do you know that consumers who view shared content, if I receive a shared content, there's 15% chance that I will likely enjoy it than if I discover it myself. I'm telling you. Because when you see things for yourself, you take it for granted, okay. But when somebody else shares it, it's called peer influence, guys. When somebody else shares it, you look at your phone book. This came from my producer. Okay, my producer is very knowledgeable about video editing and production. So if he shares this thing, it must make sense. So I get more interest because, okay, my producer is sharing this thing. So, okay, let me take a look at it. As opposed to if I discover it myself, I may not really want to, share it or enjoy it that much. So these are some of the things we need to take a record of. And one other thing, do you know that using interactive content could make your campaign go viral? So your content needs to be interactive. Nowadays we go on LinkedIn, people use like surveys or polls. They talk about renting versus buying. And you see a percentage of those who say in favor of renting or in favor of buying. Such people are more likely to get engaged in those kind of content and share it. Be it in LinkedIn, whatever platform. It's no need to mention all those platforms. And of course, interactive video, quizzes and surveys get people's attention and gets people excited. And do you know that constructing a viral campaign involves some psychology, like I told you before. There's psychology behind it because you're trying to arrest someone's attention. You want to take advantage of someone's emotion. And these are the reason why consumers share content in the first place is all in the mind. Trust me, it's all in the mind. And if you can take advantage of people's emotion, because emotion is, emotion drive some of these key decisions that we make. So increasing your chances of creating a viral content involves some psychological theories. We're going to talk about those theories, you understand? Before we do that, we're going to go on a quick break, guys. So we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, let's bring in psychology into some of the reasons why some of these videos, images, or news go viral. People don't believe it, but you're going to see now, and you yourself will take advantage of this. And I hope after this show, your content you start creating will start going viral. So sit back, relax, let's go on a quick break, and we'll be right back.
My name is Carol, and I'm currently a project coordinator. I took the project management course. I learned a number of things, one of which was interview skills. I learned about the Agile framework and how that's very different from the waterfall model of project management.
At Top Run Consulting, the key unique area that we try to focus on is not to just impart certification knowledge, but the
Back in June 2017, I did the business analysis course at Top Run. I learned the basic and advanced skills and tools to be successful in business analysis fields.
Are you craving some home-cooked African meals but are missing the authentic ingredients? No worries. Head over to Dunami's Food online groceries at www.mydunamisfood.com to check out our collection of the best quality African and Caribbean foods. From swallows to spices to meats and produce, expect top quality customer service and have your groceries delivered to your door when you shop at Dunami's Food. Don't forget, go to www.mydunamisfood.com and get a taste of home. It'll be like you never left. Dunami's Food, keeping you smiling always. Nous vous gardons toujours le sourire.
Welcome back to the Spotlight Show. I'm your host, JP's Napoleon Ogbole. If you're just joining us, thank you so much. We are live right now on GBKM Network, so please download the app. And we're also live on YouTube and Facebook, GBKM TV, and at GBKM FM. Before we went on the break, we were talking about some of the content that people share and why people are likely to reshare those kind of content. We also talk about some psychological theories, because they are dealing with people's emotion, and there's some psychological theories that is applicable to some of these content and why they go viral, why they become very popular. Because when you create a content, you want it to go viral. You want to reach as many people as possible. And these are the things we're talking about today. So on the image right now, we talk about, individuals on social media are more likely to share certain types of content. And these are the kind of content we talk about: news, jokes, opinion, informative how-tos, warnings or alert, and of course, fiction, and these are some of the contents. So now we're talking about, psychology in terms of content, which is, there's for your content to go viral, it needs to do some work to people's brain. Okay, so people share individual pieces of content for all types of reasons. Okay, but there are some commonalities. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about now. According to psychological theory, content that feels novel, which is new, or that fills an information gap, okay, may trigger the release of dopamine in the brain. You see? And what does that do? So for that, content that touches the right emotions, okay, depending on my state of mind at the point when I receive a content, and it triggers some right emotion at that point in time. It could be excitement, it could be surprise, nostalgia, you understand, etc. Can also latch onto the viral effect. You can remember recently there was this challenge going on TikTok and social media where people start crates and people try to climb on the crate. That went viral. They were doing it all over the world. I even saw one in Africa where a masquerade, this guy had a full costume and he was trying to do it, and people of all shapes and sizes have been trying to do that as well. This actually causes some sort of chain reaction on people's mind and brain, and that's why it releases that chemical, and it triggers some sort of emotion, and that's what gravitates people towards it, and that's why they may want to hold on to that image, to that campaign, or even want to share it. Okay, so let's go further. There are two well-known documented psychological effects that trigger the reward pathways in the brain. Okay, reward pathway meaning for people to get hooked to that particular information. The first one is the novelty seeking. What is that? Your mind is tired of seeing the same old ideas over and over again. This is the truth. Your mind can't just be seeing the same thing. After a while, you get bored. You're not even interested. Okay? But with novelty seeking, that's why things that are new or unusual will always catch people's attention. Trust me. And this includes the content on your favorite website or social media. Okay, I'll give an example. If you go to google.com, they have the search bar, and the doodle, they always change it every now and then. For Valentine, in different seasons, they try to use different images that appeal to people. And sometimes some of those images goes viral, and you see it on the news, on mainstream news. And once it goes on mainstream news, trust me, the secondary news and website and blogs begin to talk about it, and before you know it goes viral. And this is what it is, because people are tired of the same thing. So when something new comes up, wow, they get gravitated to it. Let's talk about cryptocurrency as well. When they talk about the NFC, everybody jump into the non-fungible tokens because it was new and everybody want to have a piece of it. You see? So people are invested, psychologically into campaigns to make it go viral, because once it goes viral, the reward is much more than the investment. I could invest $1,000 now on a certain campaign. But that campaign, if it goes viral, the reward could be millions of dollars. You know, so don't think it's a hit and run scenario. Oh, let me just try this thing. It might go well or it might go south. Who cares? No. People actually takes all these things into consideration when they are doing campaigns, be it jokes, be it information, be it news, be it any opinion about anything that may be relevant in terms of current affairs. So that's the first psychological effect. The second one is information gap theory. What is information gap theory? Human beings are obsessed with information and have an unquenchable interest or appetite in the world around them. That is why when your Facebook feed provides a chance to temporarily satisfy your curiosity with just one clip, you cannot help but you say, come. So there are certain things you see on Facebook. I was on Instagram one time, and trust me, sometimes the information will put you in trouble. So there's information, there was this ad that came up. You know, it was talking about something I was interested in at that point in time. And I was forced to click on it because it got my attention, because I was seeking for information, because there was gap in my knowledge in that particular topic. As soon as it came up, because I'm sure all these apps and all these social media, they all have traces of scrubbing the internet. They all have chances of looking at your inbox, your WhatsApp, because most of these companies are the same. So that is owned by Google or it's owned by Facebook. It's Alphabet in Google or Facebook. Facebook owns WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. So when you're on those platforms, they share information. So if you are talking about, maybe I'm talking about a video camera for my show, you know, trust me, when I go on Instagram, I'm sure there'll be something about that particular camera that will come on, that will catch my attention. I'll be forced to click on it, okay? But what am I saying is that information gap theory, when there's a gap in your information, you're looking for information, you know, and you see an alert or a campaign with regards to that, you're more gravitated to actually want to know more. You know, so these are the theories that they use, you know. What is new? What can I use to capture people's attention? Okay? What is happening right now in current affairs that people don't really know much about? Trust me, if I do a campaign right now that's talking about anti-vaxxers, people that don't want to take the vaccines, and I can fill in some information gap or create new information about vaccines, trust me, a lot of people will click on that content and it will go viral. Trust me, guys, this is how it works. I'm not an expert, but based on the study I've done, these are some of the approach that people take. Be it behavioral scientists, be it what they call them, product managers or marketers, etc. Okay, guys. So scientists have figured out exactly how curiosity works. Trust me, you're not the first to figure it out. People are being paid in universities to actually have a department, you know, to find out how curiosity works. But what we do know so far is that is an itch that human feel they must continually satisfy. Curiosity, they say curiosity, there's a popular saying, curiosity kills the cat. No, but human beings are very curious, you know. So because of this curiosity, we always want to know. We always want to know. So more specifically, according to George Lowenstein, information gap theory will often add to fill a gap between what we know and what we want to know. You know, what do you know about this right now? So if I'm talking about this device, for instance, what do I know about it and what more do I want to know? And that's why you go on YouTube now. There are so many videos and different campaigns going on. There's so much information out there, you know. So this is what determines, you know, why some campaigns goes viral and others do not go viral, because there's a whole lot of thought, a whole lot of planning behind the scene. Okay, guys. So I hope this information is very, very beneficial to you. So we're going to go next on to the next image. Okay, that is the next image. So we talk about why do people share certain things. So we saw the kind of content that people are more likely to share previously. Be it, you know, news was one of the first ones. Then we have talk about comedy, and then we talk about, you know, informational videos on how you can do things. Okay, so now what are the different content that people are more likely to share, and that is why we come to this. So knowing your audience can tell you a lot about how you should put together your marketing campaign. And then knowing what drives your audience to share a content is equally important. And these are the top 10 reasons, you know, based on the study that was done. The first one is to connect with someone over a shared interest. Because if there's someone on my contact, you know, who will like soccer, for example. So any information about soccer, I'm more likely to share to that person, okay, because I can connect on the shared interest. To promote a product they believe is useful to others. Okay, there's a video I came about recently that was promoting entrepreneurship. And trust me, I love entrepreneurship because I always encourage people multiple streams of income. I share that video without thinking twice. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why people will share something. So once you begin to take note of all this, then you see to be involved in a current trend or event. You know, remember, let me give you an example. Last year, there was the June 19 protest. Everybody wanted to be involved. Every youth, every Nigerian youth, black youth, even with the racism in America with George Floyd, people were sharing those content. Why? Because they want to be involved in that current trend or event. The next one is to be the first to tell your friend about an event or product. Trust me, people know I'm very interested in cryptography or cryptocurrency or blockchain technology. So when the news came out that Microsoft just got a patent on one of the technology, people share that with me a lot because they know that this is something that Napoleon or Jabez is interested in. You know, because they want to be the first. Oh, I told you I was the one that shared it with you first. We are all victims to that. And of course, to share something about themselves. I want to share my videos to my contact, of course, because I want them to know the good job I'm doing. Okay, guys? And of course, to socialize. People like to socialize, and one of the ways they're doing that is sharing content. You know, right now, you know, I'm also the public relations officer in Nigerian Canadian community, and we're going to have an event to celebrate Nigerian independence very soon. You get, I want to socialize. And some of the things that I won't even think twice, I want to share, because I want to see more Nigerians come together, you know, on that event. You know, also to promote a good cause. You know, there's so many videos out there talking about, you know, maybe we're talking about breast cancer, or we're talking about, like, one of my sponsors who talks about human trafficking. So some of those events, because if there's a good cause, you're more likely, if you're inclined to that particular cause, to share such information without being biased, ashamed, or judgmental. You know, so these are some of the reasons. The next one is to demonstrate their own knowledge or authority on the subject. Trust me, when it comes to politics, people want to demonstrate their knowledge, so they push this particular, you know, conservative view or liberal view, etc. And of course, sometimes people just want to start a conversation. So share an image or a campaign or a video go viral because they want to, you know, they are sharing this thing because they want to start a conversation. And lastly, to gain opinions of friends. You know, sometimes people want to gain friends, and when there's a certain, you know, you have a friend who is a conservative, for instance, and you have some conservative views, you understand, and you want to rub minds together, you're more likely to share those content. All right, guys, so we're going to go on another quick break as well. You know, we need to pay some of our bills, guys, and when we come back, we're going to talk about, you know, how these viral campaigns and the brain, how they are interlinked. Okay, guys, so sit back, relax. We're going to come back when we go on this quick break.
Are you craving some home-cooked African meals but are missing the authentic ingredients? No worries. Head over to Dunami's Food online groceries at www.mydunamisfood.com to check out our collection of the best quality African and Caribbean foods. From swallows to spices to meats and produce, expect top quality customer service and have your groceries delivered to your door when you shop at Dunami's Food. Don't forget, go to www.mydunamisfood.com and get a taste of home. It'll be like you never left. Dunami's Food, keeping you smiling always. Nous vous gardons toujours le sourire.
All right, welcome back to the Spotlight Show. If you're just joining us, thank you once again. And if you've been with us before we went on the break, we're talking about reasons why people share content. Okay, guys? And we talk about so many reasons. And we are back on the break now. And we'll go straight to the next image, you know, because as we come to the end of the show. All right, so the next image is what triggers virality. Virality means what makes a campaign or a promo or whatever information I'm sharing to go viral. It will become, you know, as I call it, popular jingle, you know, whereby everybody knows about it, everybody is sharing it. So certain emotions lead to consumers not only viewing the content, but also sharing it. And these emotions include, like we talked about before, amusement. People want to be amused. My WhatsApp, because depending on your age group or your community, there are some social media apps that you use more than others. Some people like TikTok, some people like WhatsApp, some people like, you know, Facebook, Instagram. There's so many out there, you know. But let's talk about WhatsApp, because I use it every now and then because of the feature of Wi-Fi calling, you know, calling through the internet. It saves me from using calling card to call overseas. Okay, and I get a whole lot of video for amusement. And sometimes I share because it's just too funny that I don't want to laugh alone. Okay, so people share content and it goes viral because it's amusing. Some content go viral. Why? Because there's delight, you know, to promote the product they believe is useful to others. You know, people share content and it goes viral. Why? Because, like I said, it's a current event. You know, there are so many things out there right now about vaccines and COVID-19 because that is the current news and the Delta variant. I don't know what part of the world you are. We're in North America, especially Canada. We're already talking about the fourth wave. There is a Delta variant whereby even though you have 2 shots of the vaccine, you need to top up. You know, so things keep happening. So these are some of the reasons, you know, people share content because, you know, that it goes viral because the content provides hope or joy or happiness or pleasure, guys. So these are different reasons why people share. So now we talk about why you know, how your campaign can go viral if you touch the right emotions. Okay, we talk about 2 theories, you know, psychological theory, you know, which is, you know, novelty theory. When something is new, people are gravitated towards it. Or if there's a information gap, You know, if you don't have full information about something and that particular campaign fills that information, in that information void, you're obviously likely to get hooked on it and share it for it to go viral. Because some of us, I don't know about you, some of us have thousands of contacts on our phone books. You know, by sharing that videos, imagine those thousands of people receive it and share to another 1,000 or 2,000. Before you know, the internet is like what, a global village right now. Anything can go viral in any instant, regardless of where you are. Most of the viral content don't even come from civilized or Western world. Some of them come from Africa, from Asia. You know, there are people doing big things right now, making so much money from marketing campaigns because their video goes viral. You know, from very, very remote part of the world that you won't believe. So guys, you know, take advantage of some of this, because now I've learned something new. And that's why I like the Spotlight Show, because I always learn something new, you know, with all these topics. So I hope you teach, you run with it, and, you know, begin to benefit from it as well. So as we come to the end of the show, so you have to remember that specific emotions lead people to share content, okay? And including those of amusement, be it affection, surprise, happiness, excitement, etc. However, on the flip side, nostalgia and disgust are two other psychological responses that trigger sharing as well. You may not believe it, but some people may be so disgusted about a campaign, they will actually share it. Some of us will like, you know what, just delete it. This is just so disgusting. But some people, that's what they like to share, because they believe that some people may benefit from such information gap. All right, guys. So now you're seeing it. So when you see some campaigns and you see people share it so many times, or it's actually going viral on so many platforms, now you know some of the theory and some of the work behind it. And of course, it targets our mind, you understand, because that is where our emotion reside. And sometimes, depending on your state of mind, is what may gravitate you towards that content, and you may watch it over and over again, or you may share it over and over again. It doesn't matter, you understand. It could be anything. Even musical videos from musical artists go viral because it touches on some of this emotion. All right, guys, so we come to the end of the show. I want to say a special thank you once again to you, first of all, for always being there and supporting us, and of course to Top Rock Consulting. Guys, go to www.toprun.ca. They always have classes. Are you looking for cybersecurity, project management, agile, software training, business analysis, you know, whatever it may be, okay? They always have a class, in person or virtual, close to you. You have a friend or even an enemy, you understand? Come on, guys, let's begin to work together to build ourselves. Let's be our brother's helper, our sister's keeper. Tell them about Top Run, and of course, they will help you, you know, get those skills certification, and also your resume. And of course, I must say a special thanks to Dunamis. Really like the Spotlight Show, you're a supporter of GBKM, you know, you're pro support of, you know, the advancement of people of African descent, you should patronize Dunamis. Come on, guys, you know, let's give a quick support to these people. They are doing so much to try and have so many goods and products, you know, available to you. So at your fingertip, be it on your laptop, on your iPad, or your smart device, whatever it may be, go to mydunamisfood.com and order, okay, get it delivered, and you come and give us testimony. Is there something you like about it? Good. Tell other people. If there's something you don't like about it, why? You know, tell us or send them a feedback, guys. And they always guarantee your return at no extra cost, guys. So please patronize. So we come to the end of the show. Remember, this show is 30 minutes every Sunday, 3 p.m., guys. So depending on your time zone, it's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So depending on your time zone, it could be in West Africa, it could be, you know, 8 p.m. You know, some other part of the world, it could be 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. So depending on where you are, guys. So thank you so much, and you know, for being part of the show. We'll be back same time next week. Don't forget to go to the website www.gbkm.fm to see the next shows. Okay, today is Sunday. We have shows on Mondays. We have shows Wednesdays, different days of the week. And remember, you can be whatever you might be. Whatever you want to be, you can achieve it. It all starts with the mind. Wherever you find happiness is your home, guys. Trust me, you understand? Because the planet Earth belongs to humankind, belongs to the human race, you understand? So, you know, if you find happiness anywhere, why not? Make it your home, participate in the community, participate in politics, you know, in charity, whatever it is you find doing, do it well. And start thinking of building that business, you know, multiple streams of income. Like I always say, COVID-19 has opened our eyes that, you know, there's no more job for life or business for life. Anything can happen and disrupt that industry, guys. So thank you once again. So I'm going to leave you today with this. You're always in the spotlight. The change you seek begins with you. Good night.
Having some home-cooked African meals but are missing the authentic ingredients? No worries. Head over to Dunamis Food online groceries at www.mydunamisfood.com to check out our collection of the best quality African and Caribbean foods. From swallows to spices to meats and produce, expect top quality customer service and have your groceries delivered to your door when you shop at Dunamis Food. Don't forget, go to www.mydunamisfood.com